morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of NYFCAtv. My name is Vince DeLisio, joined by my broadcast partner, League Commissioner of the NYFCA. Did I get it right this time? League Commissioner? Jason Hirsch, good friend of mine, getting to be a good friend of mine most days. And no, we have a lot of fun bringing this show to you, folks. And we've had a lot of fun the last few weeks, not only doing the show, filming segments for the show, putting everything together, but the thing that Jason and I share that's a commonality is the fact that we are passionate about youth activities, youth sports, youth football. And with that being said, we have a lot of fun doing these games.
It's a ton of fun being out there on the weekend. You know, we have amazing families that are coming out on holiday weekends, Vince, athletes working hard, and there's not a week that doesn't go by that our community shares with us what they appreciate about the league and what we're doing. And I've said this from the very beginning. It takes this community, it takes you guys to help put this all on. We're all in this together. So do we appreciate the praise and we're glad that the teams are having fun? 100%. But without the families, the players, the coaches, the referees, it doesn't happen. And you know, I actually want to comment on that, Vince. So we had something come up with our medical trainer this week, and I reached out to a longtime paramedic, 30 years in the business, on a holiday weekend, and he goes, you know what? I'd love to come out there, help the kids, make sure they're playing safe. And it just goes to show how strong the community is out here, that no matter on a holiday weekend or what they're at or what they have going on in their lives, they want to be a part of this because there is a huge tackle community with the passion and love for the game.
Well, and since you're on that topic, talking about support staff, let's talk about the facilities and the accommodations that we've had at the various high schools that we have been playing our games at. I mean, we got to start with our friends at Arcadia High School within the Scottsdale Unified School District. First class all the way, right?
Can't say enough about Arcadia High School. They've welcomed us. They allowed us to kind of progress and start to use the facility a little bit more, which just makes our environments even better. And their communication and staff on site has just been a pleasure to work with. They've made it very easy to host our games.
Our friend Jerry over there has been a real blast to work with. And playing on turf fields has been something else. Lights out. I mean, there's no divots in the field. There's no rocks, you know, like in the old days played in the park. This is legitimate stuff, Jason.
Yeah, we were out there actually talking yesterday. You know, I remember when I played, you know, it was rocks.
Leather helmets and no face masks.
That these kids are, you know, they're very, very fortunate to have this opportunity because when they get to high school, this is like what they're already doing, and maybe even the next level and the next level after that. So these state-of-the-art, world-class facilities raise the game, raise the experience. It creates an energy, it gets it very excited, and it gets the coaches and the players on the field, the spectators up in the stands, you know, to allow the game to happen the way that it should.
Let's talk about last week's game of the week. Now that this is a good segue because of the excitement and the camaraderie and the competitive nature of these two teams. These teams, the AZ Bandits and the AZ Suns, they got a long history playing each other, a lot of competition, and the coaches were kind of, you know, getting some verbal jabs in before. It was all in good fun. It was, but I got to tell you, when Suns coach Dom Davis kind of laid down the gauntlet and said, we are going to score a lot of points this game, I thought, man, those are some bold words. And they came out, they scored. Coach Josh with the Bandits, he didn't disappoint either, came out there and played a good game. It wasn't as lopsided as what was predicted, but it was an exciting game.
Yeah, it was. There was a ton of energy. They actually came out to the 50-yard line. Both teams kind of started
8U teams, yeah. But it was good football.
Yeah, it was great football. They're running real offenses. They're well coached. They're really organized. Our 8U division, I'm really proud of. We have some solid teams, probably some of the top teams in the state, if not the top teams in the state. And when these teams show up, they're playing football, Vince. They're playing football.
When I went out and visited both practices the prior week with the Suns and the Bandits, I was impressed. I was impressed not only with the family support out there, because families are all out there. Some are helping out. The rest are just kind of sitting and watching watching their kids practice, but how everything was just so methodical with regard to drill work, going boom here and then going to another drill here and continuing, and you had coaches at every station encouraging the kids all the way. I mean, it was amazing, and it was with both practices. I was at South Phoenix with one, and then I was in Glendale with the other, and they were run very, very similar. So it was a lot of fun.
Well, you know, with good organizations that have been around for a while and that have some experience, you know, the Suns compete nationally. An efficient practice is critical. You know, if you're coaching on Saturday or Sunday on game day, you didn't really do your job at practice. You know, that's when it's time to just go execute. And when you do the work off the field and you put the time in, you get the product like what we're seeing there, and you get a really competitive, great game by two phenomenal organizations that have been around for a while, the AZ Bandits and the AZ Suns.
Okay, so that being said, let's get into kind of the meat and potatoes of our show today. So we've got a lot of things coming up. Obviously, we have a game of the week that you'll be seeing and that we'll be talking a little bit more about later, but we've got some interviews too, right? Oh, yeah. So we're starting off with a local trainer who has a storied history. He was a decorated football player, played Pac-12, played at the University of Oregon, so he was a Duck, played in the NFL, spent some time with the San Francisco 49ers, and an offensive lineman by the name of Adam Snyder. This is a guy that played a lot of years in the NFL, and it was well within his right. When it came time to retire, kind of could have just as easily put himself out to pasture and enjoyed retired life, but all of a sudden he started working with kids, and it was more of a hobby initially. Now it's gotten to be much more than that, so we're looking forward to talking to Adam.
Yeah, it was great to go out and visit Adam at Vital Performance. He's got a great philosophy. He's doing something, you know, very different out there, very specialized. There's not many training facilities that specialize on a position specific, or at least not the guys in the trenches, you know, the O-line. So it was great to see him out there and work with his group, which you'll kind of see in the film. And he actually had a little stint here with the Arizona Cardinals as well. So it's great for him to call Arizona home.
Okay, so let's do that. When we come back from the break, we're going to come back with Adam Snyder. Should be a lot of fun. It'll be great. We're out at out at Adam's gym last week. Had a great conversation with him as he took some kids through workouts. So should make for a great show. Stick around. Much more after that. We'll be right back here on NYFCAtv. All right, guys, so I am here with veteran and retired former offensive lineman, NFL, University of Oregon, guy that everybody in the Valley is getting to know really well now, name of Adam Snyder. Adam, how you doing?
Doing well, man. Thank you for coming. I appreciate the
Adam, so we're in your gym. So tell me a little bit about what you do, because you played so many years in the NFL. You retired. You know, you should be put out to pasture and enjoying life. What, you're working?
Yeah, that life got old real quick. So, I started coaching high school football at Perry High School in Gilbert. And my assistant head coach, Mike Rome, and I saw a need for technical skill development on the offensive line. And so his son is playing at Cal, Berkeley, and it started there. Took a couple kids to a park, and it was just about, you know, the technique and the fundamentals. Because you don't have to be the biggest, strongest, fastest kid. You got to have technique. And if you can be a technician, you can go a long way and play football a long time. And that's what I wanted to do, was just give back some of the knowledge that I was able to get throughout my career and give it back to the kids and keep that football window as open as long as possible.
So we talk about parents that maybe are a little too involved in their kids' success, and they bring in all these camps and all these forced activities. How old should you start working with kids, and how do you know if a kid is getting burned out?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. We don't start here until about 13. Okay. Yeah, I feel like, any younger than that, the technique part of it kind of goes out the window when you play the game. And so the junior high age, 7th grade, 8th grade, is where we start to introduce stance and alignment and angles. And we have guys that are in the NFL now that are coming here to train. We have guys that are 7th grade, 8th grade, high school. But yeah, I think about 7th, 8th grade is about the right time.
Okay, and behind us here is some weight equipment, and that was the other question I wanted to ask you about, is how old should kids be when they start lifting? 7th, 8th grade, before, after?
I mean, I think after. I don't think there's any reason to put a squat bar on your neck and squat when you're in 7th or 8th grade. What our philosophy here is we think outside the box. We ain't doing Olympic lifting in here. Those kids have plenty of time to do that at school. So we do a lot of band work, a lot of hip mobility, ankle flexion. Our performance coach, Natalie Waddell, does a great job of creating functional strength for the offensive linemen. So yeah, I don't think kids should lift at all until they're.
Okay, so and speaking of which, so you talked about a lot of flexibility, plyometrics, things of that nature. What are some tools of the trade that you can share with us here of some things that you do here? Obviously technique work, but what are some examples of things that you do?
We do a lot of work with med balls. You know, a big thing for us is standing up out of our stance, and so we train being uncomfortable in terms of like being able to stay in your stance for a long time. You'll be able to see it here in a sec. We'll start getting going. But, yeah, it's kind of hard to explain. I mean, it's very technical and very Mike and I speak the same language. And so it's getting these kids familiar with those terms. And, you know, again, there's a million ways to skin a cat. And our way is one way that worked for me. Coach Mike understands what we're doing here. And it is what it is. If kids like it here, they like it. And you know, no hard feelings, not being competitive about this thing. I think there's some great places. Ron Sauer's up in Scottsdale, and Charles Bentley's the mecca here in Chandler for offensive line guys. And so, you know, we're just trying to put our little mark on it and help these kids out. And again, continue that football career for as long as possible.
You train one-on-one, but do you do large group? Do you go outside of this gym into the community? Are there particular settings, you know, that are common? Hey, let's give Coach Snyder a call. I mean, what type of situations do you work in?
Yeah, I mean, all of those. We do right now. Actually, this afternoon we'll have a pretty big group of kids. This is so we have upperclassmen first, and then underclassmen second, and then Wednesdays we do youth. We've gone to and done a bunch of camps here in. We've done Chaparral. We've done them in Phoenix. We've done them kind of throughout the valley. We have Queen Creek High School that comes here. They bring all of their offensive linemen right now. They come for a 2-hour session on Saturdays. So we can do all of those things. We can do group. We can do individual. We prefer the group aspect. We prefer having some kids that have been in our program for a while to train with those newer kids, so they can kind of see what's expected of the technique when they come here and actually see that it works. Like, you can see these kids getting better, and so yeah, we can do it all.
Okay, let's talk about first of all, 2 questions, because I forget a lot of things fast. 2 questions. What is the perfect lift for an offensive lineman? That's question number 1. And number 2, let's say you're a kid that's 7th, 8th grade, never so much as put on a set of pads before. How long until he's doing things your way and a Division I caliber athlete, if he has the size and all that stuff?
Yeah, the perfect lift is to put the weights down and work on your technique. No, I mean, offensive linemen need to have strong legs. I don't like back squat, but we have the rhino squat. I think you might be able to see it over here, where the weight is put on your hips. But
now, why don't you like back squat? Because of the pressure on the back,
yeah,
people don't do it right.
A ton of back problems. It doesn't make sense to put 700 pounds on your back and squat. It just doesn't. There's other ways to get those movements. There's other ways to do those things. And then how long for a kid to kind of pick up what we're doing? You know, a couple sessions, 3 or 4 sessions. And, again, once you get familiar with the language and you kind of understand what we're presenting, it happens quick. And we see it, Mike and I see it constantly. We see kids progress, in a week-by-week basis. And just, thinking of what we're talking about outside of this gym also helps. We talk about that a lot. Just think about football. Think about your movements. Visualize what you want to get done, and the mind is a powerful tool, and it'll eventually start building that muscle memory when you're constantly thinking about your technique and stuff like that. So,
okay, last question. What is the coach that imparted like that aha moment on you? Grade school, middle school, high school, college, NFL. Who is that one coach, and what was it that they told you?
Oh man, I've been very blessed and fortunate to have a crew of coaches. But I think that quote right there is probably what sticks with me the most. It was Jim Harbaugh, and he had a lot of those kind of moments. But Mike Solari was a guy that I got to play for offensive line wise with the Niners, who instilled details, and it was endless detail, and made me a better professional, made me a better man. Just the way he worked and the way he presented things, it was incredible. So I've had quite a few. I don't think I could pinpoint just one.
Okay, all right. And how do people get a hold of you? You're obviously out here in Chandler. How can people get a hold of you?
Instagram at Vital Performance, Twitter at Vital Performance, Facebook I think is Vital Performance. vitalperformance@gmail.com for an email. I mean, any of those things are the best ways to get a hold of us.
Awesome. It looks like you have an athlete coming in now. Coach Adam Snyder, it was great meeting you. Thank you for your time. And we're going to kind of hang around here and get some video of some stuff you're doing, and we're looking forward to it. Thanks again.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Welcome back, guys, to NYFCAtv. And we would be remiss if we didn't talk about where we film our show. So we're in the game room at Mavericks in Scottsdale. And Jason, talk a little bit about Mavericks.
Man, it's this place is just unreal. I mean, there's something here for everyone. Huge arcade, just great entertainment venue. But how great is it to be sitting down at Atari events?
Atari, this is what I grew up with, although it's the little joysticks, and I just need money. You can bring any money? Can we play?
We'll get a card to get after it.
Okay, so we had a great couple of interviews. Adam Snyder, thank you so much for giving of your time and talking a little bit about what you guys do and how it impacts the kids in the state of Arizona. Just totally amazing. The rest of the show, let's lay out the rest of the show. So we're obviously going to give a preview of our game of the week, which is X Factor and the Levine Scorpions. Yeah, Levine Scorpions. And then we talked a little bit. We featured featuring a little bit different this week in that we're featuring a 6U game.
That's right. So we have the Levine Scorpions versus Southwest Stampede, which was a great contest. And then we had the AZ Bandits and the Southwest Stampede. Rematch. Game 2. And man, I can't wait to go into the recap on this one. And then followed by our final game, which was Firebirds and Southwest Stampede. Another great contest in the middle school division.
Yeah, so good stuff, good games, and definitely a lot of things coming your way in the show, as well as highlights. What do we call the highlight segment again? It's showtime. Anyway.
Yeah, so these highlights, make sure to check them out. They're from all around the league. They're going to be from all 3 of our games, and it should be pretty good.
Okay, so let's get right into it and just talk a little bit about the game of the week. So we have the X Factor Athletics, coached by head coach Major Perry. Great guy. Very, you know what I found him to be, Jason, is very even-keeled. He talks, he doesn't boast. He talks realistically. That first week, they got beat pretty good in that game against the Argonauts, but they came right back, and he talked about things he needed to work on. He wasn't dwelling on anything, but he just said, look, we got a lot of work to do. We want to be the best. We got to play the best, and they got more than a handful in that first game, right?
Yeah, they did, but I got to comment on X Factor. Every week, they have come with a different mentality. The kids are focused, they're organized, the plays are getting off more efficiently, they're moving the ball. But what I love to see, because I'm a DC on our team, that their defense, they're making stops. They're getting the ball back in their offense's hand. The kids are playing aggressive. They're doing a good job over at that camp.
And it feels like every time we see plays being made, it's from a different kid each week, a different young man that's stepping forward, that is being the playmaker, that's being the difference maker on their team. And those are things that Major Perry, head coach of X Factor, preaches. Now, on the other side, we got the Levine Scorpions. They're a new program. I spent some time out at their practice, and I was enlightened because I learned a few things. First of all, they are very community-oriented. They're all about giving back to the community. They have a requirement, and when you talk to some of the kids and Coach Charles Anderson and their organizational director, Renisha, about their community service and about giving back, that's one thing that really struck me, in that they're building a good program. It's a great marketing tool, for one thing, because they're talking about getting out into the community. They're making themselves more visible as a result, and they really stress that community, that volunteerism. So those are the kind of things that a lot of times we don't see, obviously, on the field, but to learn about it off the field really is something special.
Yeah, no, that's great, because that's what we're about here. Integrity, character, and we're also raising young men to go out in our communities to build up the world around us.
So when we come back after I kick your tail in a couple games of Atari Pong here, we're going to have those interviews with Major Perry, a coach of X Factor, as well as Coach Charles Anderson and a few of his players from the Levine Scorpions that we taped just recently. Stick around. We'll be right back here on NYFCAtv. Okay, welcome back, everyone. So we are joined by X Factor Athletics head coach, Major Perry. Coach Perry, how you doing, sir?
Hey, it's a great night. Hey, really enjoying the weather. I couldn't ask for anything better.
Coach, so you've had some up and down weeks here, and things are looking good out in X Factor land. How are you guys doing right now?
You know, we're doing okay. Injury bug has really hit us this season. I've lost 3 of my starting offensive linemen. So we have some young guys we're trying to get coached up to be the next man up. So it's been tough, but it's actually been fun and enjoyable.
Quarterback Chris Martinez, how has he responded to the fact that he's missing a couple key linemen?
You know, it's been a struggle, especially with the snap count. He's so used to having his center there, and the cadence is a little bit off. So we've been working on some things to try to correct that.
Passing game looked pretty crisp last week, and things looked on point regarding your defense. You have to be pleased with it at this point in the season. You're getting some pretty positive feedback overall from the families and the community.
You know what? They're loving it. They know we're grinding right now. Sometimes perseverance when it happens, it makes you stronger. So I'd rather have things like this happen early. We can correct it. So just watch out for us at the end of the season. We're gonna be clicking on all cylinders there.
Okay, and that being said, your running game, you must be pretty pleased with how things are going with the ground attack too.
Absolutely. I couldn't ask for anything better. I have 2 amazing backs. They're both dynamic in their own right. And I tell you what, once we shore up some of that blocking, you're going to see that running game get even better.
And you obviously, you take very little credit for the success of the team because you're surrounded by such a solid group of coaches. Any coaches you want to single out and recognize?
Yeah, actually, I really want to give a shout out to Coach James Stokes. He works with the line. Also, Cliff Mann, he's been doing a phenomenal job with the defense. Without those 2, I don't think we could be where we are. But I also have to give a shout out to Mike, my special teams coach. Our kicking game is ahead of the curve. So I really want to give those guys a great shout out for the work that they are doing.
All right. X Factor Athletics head football coach, Major Perry. Coach Perry, thanks so much for your time, and good luck this week. We'll see you soon.
All right, take care. Thanks for having us on.
All right, guys. So I am with Coach Charles and Renisha of the Levine Scorpions. How you guys doing?
We're doing good tonight, sir.
Awesome. Renisha, I want to start with you because it's always polite and proper to give ladies the courtesy of an answer first. So with all due respect, Charles, Coach. Okay, all right. So tell us about the organization, the Levine Scorpions. How did you get involved?
Well, our children have been playing since 5 years old, and we decided to take it upon this season to start our own team.
That's awesome. So, but I got to know. I mean, I barely knew how to use crayons when I was 5 years old. So what are you doing with kids at age 5? I mean, are they out there blocking, tackling, running with a football? What are they doing?
They are out here practicing everything as if a 14-year-old was out here practicing, from tackling to footwork to drills. We also have people that come out and also teach them as well. So.
That is incredible. Okay, Coach Charles. So now let's get into the blocking, tackling part of it, and get away from the organization itself. You've got middle schoolers now you're working with. Have you been working with these kids since they were 5 years old, or how long have you had this group of kids?
This is my first year with these kids, and I love them like they're my own. My middle school kids are amazing. Some never played, so we're working with their fundamentals so they can be ready for high school.
That is awesome. And okay, so tell us about the Levine Scorpions. What do you believe is the strength of your team?
The strength of our team, family, teamwork, and everyone coming together as a community.
Coach, you just melted my heart. But the fact that you nailed the family part of it, that is what NYFCA is all about, and that is why we are so excited to be talking to you tonight and to be featuring you as one of the teams of the week. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to talking to some of your kids as well.
Oh, absolutely. But one thing I wanted before you talk to my kids, my grandmother always said, a family that prays together stays together.
Interesting. Okay, Coach Charles and Renisha from the Levine Scorpions, thank you guys, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, I am here with athlete hybrid of this Levine Scorpions team, Michael Stacy. Michael, how you doing?
Good.
All right. So you play everything. You told me when we were talking off camera a minute ago, because I asked you what position, and you started doing this with your fingers, and you said you play tight end, quarterback. What else?
Defensive back, safety, and yeah, that's it.
That's pretty much it. Okay. I'm sure you've got a lot to tell me about all the positions that you play, but what I want to hear about is when I was talking to Miss Renisha a little while ago, she was talking about a volunteering requirement to be a part of this team. What is that all about? What do you have coming up? Because you guys volunteer every month. That's one of the requirements to be part of this team, volunteering community service. So tell me about what you guys are doing this weekend.
We're volunteering for the Easter church thing.
And okay, so you're volunteering at a church this month. So and so that's great because you're getting out into the community. People are seeing you, they're getting to know you, and they just see you as more than just a guy that plays football really well. That you're actually a human being with a heart, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you ever smile?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. All right. Okay, so Michael, it was good meeting you. Good luck, and looking forward to covering your team this week. So great job, son.
Thank you.
All right, guys, back with Coach Drew. And Coach Drew, so I asked you what position you coach. What do you coach?
Just about everything.
Everything. And that's what you have to do at this level, right? I mean, what kind of pressure is that? That's more than, college coaches and NFL coaches get paid a heck of a lot of money to coach like one thing. You don't, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah, you don't have you've got paychecks with a bunch of zeros, but they're going the wrong way.
Right, they are.
Okay, so what draws you to working with the kids at this age?
Just the love of the game, just want to get these kids an early start so they can be ahead of the 8 ball, going into high school. My kids are 8th graders, so it's 14U, so next year they'll be and at the best football you can play, high school football.
There you go. And what's interesting is you guys do a lot of things off the field that have to do with community service. I've never heard of that. I mean, I've heard of things here and there, one project, whatever, but you guys do something every month.
Yeah, we try to do something every month, just to give back to the community. Maybe the community give to us, as in bring some more kids out and play. Maybe we'll have them out cleaning up or doing something for a holiday, and people will see it and say, oh well, I want my kid to play for that team. We're a new team. First, this is our first year getting started. I know the league is new. Jason's league is pretty new, so we're just trying to get off on a good foot.
So, Coach Drew, it was a pleasure meeting you. Looking forward to covering you guys. So happy that you're such making an effort in the community, doing the outreach. It's good, obviously good PR, good marketing, but it's also developing good people. So thank you for that.
All right, thank you for coming.
Hey guys, okay, so welcome back. I am here with Abel Herrera of this Levine Scorpions team. Abel, what position do you play?
Lineman.
You're a lineman, offensive, defensive lineman?
Yeah.
You enjoy doing it?
Yeah.
Awesome. What's the best thing about being on this Levine Scorpion team? What makes you so excited about coming to practice every day?
Like our teammates are like pushing and we do volunteer work.
Abel, it was a pleasure to meet you. Good luck this week, and thank you so much for all you do out in the community to be a part of this community. All right. All right, guys, so I meet a lot of interesting people, and this guy is one of the most interesting ones I met, starting with his name, Zeus. I love it, Zeus. So, Zeus, you're a lineman, right? Do you play line, or what other position you play?
I play line.
Okay, do you enjoy playing on this team?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. How long have you been playing football?
I've been playing football ever since I was 7.
Wow, so how old are you now?
13.
That's a long time, man. You're a seasoned veteran. In the NFL, that's like a career.
Really?
Yeah, it is. So, all right. So, and I asked Abel this question. What do you enjoy the most about being a part of this Levine Scorpions team?
The team. It's basically the team and getting slimmer.
Zeus Smith, it was great meeting you. Good luck this week, and looking forward to covering you the rest of the season as well.
Okay.
Why don't you guys shake each other's hands? All right, shake his hand. Fist pump, whatever. Gentlemen, welcome to the game of the week for the NYFCA. Congratulations. Today we have a special guest, Officer Fadley with the Phoenix Police Department will be our honorary coin toss person today. Thank you for your service. Gentlemen, the helmet is heads, the symbol is tails. He will flip it into the air. You're the visitor, or I'm sorry. You're the visitors today, sorry. You're the visitors. You'll call it in the air. You'll repeat it. It'll hit the ground, and I'll check the result. Yes, repeat what he... Go ahead. What did he say? Heads. Heads it is. You've won the toss. What would you like to do? Defer. You want to receive? Which way would you like to kick the ball? You want to kick the ball this way? Gentlemen, over here on my side. There you go. Shake hands in the middle. Let's go play some football.
All right, if we could, thank you very much, gentlemen. If we could all please rise for the national anthem.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watch, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rocked aloud, the bombs bursting gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Looked as though didn't have anyone to hold the sticks. We got that taken care of.
All right, you need an effective sideline crew. Here we go. Ball is rolling around on the ground. Scorpions pick it up, and on the return, seem to be fighting in the wrong direction. And on the tackle to start the game is Marcus Newman, defensive back extraordinaire for the Athletics. The Scorpions will have it 1st and 10 on about the 15, about the 10-yard line. Shotgun formation, under center is Anderson, split backs, and the give right away on the dive play. Tackle made just past the line of scrimmage.
The O-line did a good job that time of getting the running back some space that time, but still only a gain of about 2 or 3 on that one.
Anderson gives the count, gives once again to the left halfback, who is brought down in the backfield. Tackle made by Calderon. Anderson once again under center, split backs 2-by-1 set with the receivers.
Kind of an odd formation.
Looked more like a wishbone set in the backfield. Breaking free through the line of scrimmage, nearly getting the first down. They might give him momentum. We'll see what the official has to say about it. It's going to be close.
Kind of a bold play call that last play, 3rd and 8, instead of putting it in the air, leaving it in the hands of the quarterback, and he's able to get it done.
Well, getting it done is what matters. So 1st and 10, Anderson back to pass, scrambles around, is caught in the backfield by Calderon and brought down right away for a loss. Anderson comes under center, looks like a wishbone set. Receiver split out wide. Anderson, the give to the fullback, just sneaks through the line of scrimmage, tackled right at the line, and that time brought down by number 32 of the Athletics. It is Daniel Saucedo. Third down and long, third down and probably 12, obvious passing down. We've got a 2-by-1 set, receiver in motion. Anderson attempts to sprint out and is brought down promptly in the backfield. Well, that's one thing that Coach Major Perry really prides himself on with this X-Factor team, is they've really done a great job of developing young linemen. And the feeder schools down in Laveen, the high schools, Cesar Chavez and Fairfax, are definitely the benefactors of what these two teams are doing. Scrambling around and taken down, Calderon on the tackle. Anderson goes down hard, and this is not the situation that you want to be in if you are a Scorpion, because here you go. You're given an extremely short field to that X-Factor offense. 1st and 10, literally, on the Scorpions' 10-yard line. Well, actually, I take that back. It looks more like the 14-yard line, so they are operating on a very short field. And here we go. The quarterback of this X-Factor team is number 17, Chris Martinez. Martinez under center. 2 receivers split out wide, 2 backs in the backfield. Martinez, the quick give into the backfield, and the running back skirting around the right side, does a little dance and gets into the end zone for an Athletics touchdown. That running back was number 19, Tajion Player, who's no stranger to having his name called by this broadcasting crew. Calderon in to kick the extra point for X-Factor. Kick is up and good. Wishbone formation, Anderson under center, receivers out wide. Anderson gives the cadence and the give to the halfback, goes through and looks really close to getting the first down.
I'm not sure they're going to give it to him.
Receivers out wide, Anderson under center. Cadence gives, and the keeper, Anderson, trying to squirt through, is denied, pushed back by that Eagles' aggressive defensive front. And another turnover on down, Sammy.
Enough for that first.
Anderson under center. Once again, full house backfield, wishbone. Anderson. And gaining a couple of yards, getting that push from that offensive line. Shotgun formation, Anderson on the keeper, squirts through the line, gets a couple yards, and is brought down for about a 2-yard gain. Welcome back, and here we go, start of the second quarter. Scorpions still with the football, 3rd down and about 3 to go. Ball is on the 37-yard line. We had some movement pre-snap. Scorpions offensive line will take it back 5 yards. The officials being mic'd up really makes a difference.
Yes, it does.
Because then we don't have to guess what calls are, and we can hear it direct. Anyway, Anderson with the football, sprints out to his left, around corner, and throws it. It's picked off. Intercepted, and running it back. 35-yard interception return is number 70 of the Eagles. That's Colin Jimenez. Carlos Calderon now to kick the extra point. And it's blocked. Extra point attempt, no good. lining up, kicking off. Another deep kick along that right hash, picked up by the Scorpions on the return, promptly brought down, and it will be spotted on about the 19, call it 20-yard line. Lining up, and X Factor getting into their defensive set. Anderson sprinting around left, stopped right away in the backfield, tackled for a loss on the sprint out. And the tackle, Sammy, did you get a jersey number there?
I wasn't able to.
Looks like 21 of
Yes.
the Eagles, and that was Alec Vargas. Anyway, Anderson under center, on the keeper, right around edge, right edge, and he loses the football. Looks like it was picked up by an Eagle, and that's Marcus Newman making another play for the Eagles.
As X Factor come out. Quarterback under center.
All right. And sprinting around, right edge into the end zone for the Eagle touchdown is 21, Alec Vargas. And lining up to kick the extra point is Carlos Calderon. Kick is up and way over the uprights. Not bad, not a bad setup. So
not at all.
Appreciative to the NYFCA folks for getting that going. And on the return, nice little bullet of a ball kick, and right up to the 31-yard line. Scorpions will have it 1st and 10. So a little bit more breathing room than the last couple drives starting off.
Yes, I think he already has a couple sacks on the day, at least a couple tackles for loss.
And here we go on 1st and 10. Scorpions, Anderson, shotgun formation, high snap. Anderson around right edge is brought down just shy of the line of scrimmage, and he is tackled on the edge by number 19, the running back of this Eagles team, Dejan Player. Quarterback Anderson in the shotgun formation, actually split backs with a wing. Anderson back and on the toss to the right halfback, around left edge, running out, finally breaking through, and we see a flag down. That back is still running, finally pushed out of bounds, way over on the right sideline by Vargas.
And the tailback that time, he was able to find some space on that left side. He made a good move out in space, but still that penalty, just another penalty that earlier before the interception, they had that false start that you would have to imagine change the play call. And now that would have been the first time they had crossed midfield today. But now they're backed up inside their own 25, a second and, what is that, about longer than 15?
Yeah, I'd say it's about 2nd and 18. And coming up at half, Nadia Armenta, our sideline reporter, will be joined by one of the coaches going into half. And Anderson, the quick give to the halfback around left edge, and he is stonewalled. 2 receivers split out wide on one side, 2 on the other, 2-by-2 set, single back in the backfield. And high snap, Anderson sprinting around the corner. That's a run all the way, a quarterback sneak, and is stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Wow.
Now number 15, Peyton Stokes creeps up to the line. We'll see if he gives pressure, and he does.
Anderson swarmed, and I don't know that it was so much Anderson, misdirecting the offense there as the snap just being extremely high, and Anderson doing everything he could to secure that football, and unfortunately running out of time before the bookends of this Eagle defense.
X Factor now. Another possession inside the red zone starting out. Number 17 fires over the middle. Chris Martinez was unable to find his receiver that time. A little high on the throw.
And Martinez goes to the air right away, finds his receiver, Carlos Calderon, all alone for a corner route and an Eagles touchdown. Martinez in the shotgun formation, receivers out wide, 2-by-1 set with a tight end, single back in the backfield. Martinez. High snap, loses the ball, finally gets it back on the lucky bounce. Martinez running in and walks that final step or two into the end zone for the extra point conversion. Calderon's kick, kind of a squib up in the air and returned, picked up, slammed to the ground on the return for the Scorpions. Scorpions, if there is an advantage here, they'll have the ball at midfield. It'll be their best starting position all game, and we'll see what they can do with it. And actually a 2-by-1 set, Anderson under center. Anderson going back in the give to the fullback right up the middle, busting through for about a 6-yard gain. Looks like a pistol set. Actually, Anderson comes up under center. 2 receivers split out wide. Anderson gives to the deep back on the draw play and is stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. And in on the tackle for the Eagles is Peyton Stokes. Split backs in the backfield. Anderson, shotgun formation. 2-by-1 set. Ball is snapped. Anderson heaves it up in the air, and it's slapped down by none other than number 70 of the Eagles, Colin Jimenez. Still playing Anderson. Shotgun formation, split backs. Anderson back to pass. Searches and is brought down, sacked deep in the backfield by Jonathan Morey.
As Anderson's under center, he hands it off to the tailback. He was looking for the edge, but unable to get it. Another loss on the run for the Scorpions.
Welcome back to the second half. Scorpions set to kick off. Line drive kick. And returned by the Eagles. Upfield, round the corner, heading upfield, turning, fumbling, running, stumbling into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Extra point conversion attempt, high snap, and overthrown. Eagles now set to kick off. Calderon sets back, gathers himself. Nice kick. And on the return, round right, tackled right at the sideline. Scorpions will have it 1st and 10 on about the 25-yard line. Anderson, under center, wishbone formation, receivers out wide. Pitch to the up back, stopped, stonewalled in the backfield. Anderson shotgun formation, sets back to pass, throws, nearly intercepted. Anderson, shotgun formation. 3rd and long now. Sprinting out, set to pass, gets the ball off, and incomplete. 4th down. Anderson on the give. Ball is stolen and scored the other way for a touchdown by the Eagles. Eagles now lead 39-0. On the point after attempt, high snap. Martinez sprints out to his left and overthrows his intended receiver. Eagles set to kick off with a 39-0 lead. Clock winding down in the 3rd period. Ball rolls around, is picked up by a Scorpions return man. Makes it just about to the 25-yard line, 20-yard line, call it, where the Scorpions will have it 1st and 10. Anderson, shotgun formation, split backs. Bobbles the snap, ends up on the ground, is picked up and recovered. Recovered by the Eagles. Martinez. Pistol formation, the quick give on the jet sweep around right end, and taking it in for the touchdown. Vargas scoring for the Eagles. Eagles now lead 45-0. Two receivers split out wide. Martinez. Martinez back to pass. Searches. Scrambles. X Factor leads the Scorpions 46-0. Kicking off now will be the Eagles. Scorpions deep to receive. 5 minutes remaining in the third period. Kicker getting ready. Launches another line drive, winds up in the hands of the deep
fielded
man
cleanly
on the return.
as the returner looks for some space up that left side. He loses it as he gets tackled, but it will be recovered by the Scorpions. The near sideline as the quarterback Anderson takes the snap. He's looking to throw. Again, the Scorpions come out, two tailbacks. Snap is a bit delayed as Anderson was looking to throw initially, but now he's under pressure, and the pressure will get to him. That is Javier Sandoval Partida. Anderson is under center with two tailbacks. He'll hand it off, and the tailback breaks one tackle in the backfield, and now swarm tackled back around the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up a 4th and long here for the Scorpions. And Scorpions now on 4th and long. We'll see what they do here. Snap to Anderson. He's looking to throw down the far sideline. The throw is intercepted by X Factor, and returning it is number 18. That's Anquan Brown. A safety out there for the Eagles.
Welcome back to NYFCAtv. Jason, great show so far. We have to get into a couple of things. First, let's talk about the player of the game of the X Factor Levine Scorpions game. It was all X Factor, spotlighted by a very special player. And one of those kids we talked about, a different kid stepping up every week. Who was the kid this week?
Well, this week he didn't just play on one side of the ball either, Vince. He was active everywhere. Special teams, defense, offense, and this young man had a great game. Pleasure to announce number 21 from X Factor, Alec Vargas. Great game, young man. Nice job.
Great game. Now let's go to that interview here real quickly, and then we'll come back.
Hi, my name is Nadia Armenta, and I'm here with Alec Vargas. You're the player of the game. How do you feel?
I feel nice. It's cool.
Have you ever been a player of the game or like a star of your football team before?
A few times, yeah.
And what keeps you really from just being a leader on this team? Like what stands out and how do you play?
I just really want to win. Have fun, all play.
And what's part of that, having fun? What goes through your mind when you're really just trying to win a game and have fun?
I don't know, just trying to join. Challenge other players, see who can do the most.
Yeah, and you really stepped up today. You kind of were flying everywhere in the field. Is that part of your specialty?
A little bit, yeah. I messed up a few times though.
What would you say is so different about you as a player? Just real honesty, one-to-one here.
I'm just fast, that's it. Yeah.
And how do you train to be fast?
I don't know, I just do a few different things, but all I do is just run.
Cool, well that is our player of the game, Alec Vargas. Thanks so much for standing with me. Have a great day and happy Easter.
All right, you too.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome back. So big thank you to our sideline reporter, Nadia Armenta. She was all over the place on the sidelines throughout the game this past weekend. What a game. What a performance. Alec, congratulations. Let's talk a little bit about the other games. And, we featured the Stampede 3 times this week. They were pretty busy.
Oh yeah, they were all over the valley. They're like I said, their organization is up and coming. They have a number of teams, and we were their stage this weekend for sure.
So one game that I was very, very intrigued by a matchup was East versus West. We had the Scottsdale Firebirds against the Southwest Stampede. And that one was a lot of Firebirds, a little bit of Stampede, and ultimately it was Firebirds that prevailed.
Yeah, this is their second matchup. The first matchup was a little unbalanced. The Stampede is a younger team, so they're more in the 13-year age group in 8th grade. Firebirds are a little bit older. Not that that matters all the time. But what was really great about this game, the first half, it was a game. There was an opportunity for a huge interception down by the goal line. Firebirds were only up at this time 8-0. He was out in the flat. The Stampede linebacker was out in the flat, and if he would have been able to corral this ball, it was pick 6. It would have really changed the game. I think that was a pivotal moment because then the Firebirds punched it in, and then after that, like you said, it was all Firebirds after that. But congratulate the Stampede for knowing the opponent and still showing up and playing the game.
Then we had something that I thought was going to be cute, but it actually ended up being a pretty decent game, and it was the 6U division. You talk about little guys, but these are little guys that were out there running around, blocking, tackling, hitting. I mean, it was something to behold. It was Scorpion Stampede.
Yeah, this is actually their second matchup again as well, and the 6U guys are just awesome, right? I mean, this is bumper cars, and but Southwest Stampede, I mean, they're organized. Levine Scorpion, they have their kids out there. There was actually some popping. I mean, these kids they're making hits. I heard it from the sideline. Even at 6U. What was really cool is on Easter weekend, both teams got in the end zone, and Levine Scorpions had a huge long run. And I just want to commend their families. I mean, their moms were over there cheering, and it was actually a great environment. It was a fun game.
Then in the final game of the evening, we had a rematch of 8U opponents. We had Stampede and the Bandits.
Oh yeah. This one got my hair on the back of my neck standing up because it just had energy right from the start. It was under the lights. It was our night game, and man, this was a 13-13 game coming out of halftime, if I remember correctly. Right. And I remember you and I, when we were down on the field, like this was a football game.
We were into it.
Oh yeah, they were going back and forth, big plays, and there was one significant play that changed the game in the second half. It might have even been 4th down or 3rd down. I'm not sure exactly, but Stampede quarterback lit up a 25-yard pass.
4th and 10. Yeah.
It was 4th and 10 on a post route. It seemed like or center fade, and. He got behind the defense, and it changed the game. I mean, that just opened it up. Oh, yeah.
So, good stuff. So, great weekend for football. Thank you, parents. Thank you, families. We're not done yet, however. When we come back, we're going to talk about a couple things, and we've got a special preview of next week. You want to give a little bit of it away?
Yeah, this is a big one, man. We have the Argos, their blue team, versus our Scottsdale Firebirds team. And we're going to have Coach Nick Offenberger from the Argos and Brad Page from the Firebirds, just to give you guys a little segue of how they're preparing for this week, this game of the week coming up.
So we'll be back with those interviews, and then we're just going to kind of put a nice little bow on everything, wrap up the show. And I know, it's coming. I've been holding off, dreading this. Jason, what do you have in the way of shoes this week?
Well, Vince, we're family oriented.
Of course, we're family oriented.
We're culture here.
Yeah, we're culture. Yes.
And I want to recognize, your bloodline. You're Italian.
Yes.
And so I came out today with these. Look at that.
Look at that.
Man, look at the checker pattern. Look at those Italian shoes right there.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Just for you, Vince.
Yeah, that's good.
Even the pointy toes.
The pointy toes. Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you.
And look good, feel good. I feel great today, and I'm happy to be here, man.
Okay.
I love working with you, Vince.
Thank you. I feel good as always, and the feeling is mutual for the most part. So anyway, thank you so much. Stick around, folks. We got a couple great interviews coming, then we're going to wrap the show up. We'll be right back on NYFCAtv after the break. All right, hey guys, so welcome back. I'm joined by the Scottsdale Argonauts head football coach, Nick Offenberger. Coach Offenberger, how are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing great, Vince. Thanks a lot for having me on tonight.
Wonderful. Coach, you got a big game, and I know we don't want to jump ahead of ourselves on anything, but next week you got a big game. We're kind of giving a little preview here a week ahead. Talk to us a little bit about how the season's been going.
Vince, we've been off to a strong start so far. I'm blessed. I've had this group since their 5th and 6th grade year, the core of them at least. So they've kind of been through the ringer with me these past couple of years as far as what the expectations are for the program, them being able to learn our system and be able to compete at a high level. So we've been off to a fast start this year, and we look to continue with this coming weekend.
All right, great. Now, Coach, I'm sure you get this question a lot, but what do you consider the strength of your program? Because you guys have so many weapons, but what is the true strength of the program, and what do you feel are the opportunities to be great? What are some things that you think are giving you an opportunity that maybe you can polish up?
Definitely. So twofold answer your first question. We're a balanced team. We hang our hat on defense. On the offensive side, we like to spread the ball around. We've got a number of kids that can make plays. So we try to get our athletes the ball in space any which way we can. So I think that's kind of describes our team best. Areas of opportunity, we can definitely get better with our pass protection. We challenge these kids. Like I said, we've had them for a while, so we like to throw new stuff at them each week, expand upon the foundation we've already set for them. So just tighten up the little stuff, Vince. That's going to take us from being a good team to a great team.
Awesome. Okay, now, biggest surprise so far in your season or with your team or both?
Yeah. A couple weeks ago, actually, we had our field goal kicker. It's my first time in a youth football game. We kick extra points, but we don't actually kick actual field goals. So we got into a situation 2 weeks ago where it was, 3rd down, maybe 15 seconds left in the half, and I didn't have a play I loved ready to go. So we have a really strong kicker. We rolled him out there, and he ended up hitting the 35-yard field goal from the hash with wind. And it was just a phenomenal moment for not only that kid, but for our team to kind of rally behind him. And it was his first field goal in a live game too. So it was a great moment for all of us.
Awesome. Okay. Final question, Coach. Tell me, because you obviously, and I've seen you work, you do a lot of things out there, but you can't do it alone. So tell us a little bit about your staff. What sets your staff or organization in general apart from other programs?
Yeah, Vince, I'm blessed, man. I do this with people I love and I genuinely care about. These are my friends outside of it, and it makes it when we go to battle a lot a seamless process, if you will. Ja'Cory Jacobs, who runs my defense, is also my defense coordinator at the high school level. We talk daily. My right-hand man on offense is also my offensive line coach at the high school level. Ruben Pimber, his little brother, plays for us. Owen, number 5, you'll see him out there making plays all over the field. My receiver coach, Julio, he's with me at the high school. Our other assistant coach, Eric, he's been with me since I started out with the Argos. So we just have a great camaraderie together as a staff. And there's no egos out there. Everybody's out there to get the kids developed, get them ready to go compete in high school. And we just love being around each other. So I tell my people all the time, I'm blessed to be out here and do something I love with the people I love.
Awesome. Coach, it should make for a fun week. I know, again, we're a week out, but can't wait. Wanted to get a little sneak preview of next week's game. Coach, good luck. Looking forward to it. Head football coach Nick Offenberger, Scottsdale Argonauts, facing the Firebirds next week. It's going to be the game of the week, the game of the year. It's going to be a lot of fun. Coach, thanks again.
Thanks a lot, Vince. We're looking forward to it, man.
All right. We'll be back in just a bit. Welcome back to NYFCAtv, and we are privileged as part of our preview week here for next week's big showdown. We are joined by Scottsdale Firebirds head football coach Brad Page. Coach Page, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome. Coach, talk to us a little bit about your season thus far. How are things going?
We've had a really good season so far. Very impressed with our guys. We have one of the best groups we've had come out of this Firebird program. I've been with the Chaparral program for about 5 years, and this definitely has the most balance all around of any team I've coached. So it's been nice to see that we have guys who've played football. We have guys who haven't played a lot of football before, but overall, I say they have bought into what we're trying to do and bought into being a part of our process and I've been very encouraged by that. And I think come fall and through the rest of their high school, they're going to be a pretty solid class.
Awesome. Okay, now obviously, Coach, we know that you do a lot of things really well out there. We've had a chance to see you and showcase you guys a few times already this season. What seems to be your niche or your go-to?
Well, I'd say defensively, Coach Dieter and Coach Q, they have really set the tone overall for our team. I think that the way that they work and the way that our guys hit has been the most encouraging thing. I think that's the thing we do the best. And the design around the defensive scheme for them and that side of the ball is about forcing teams to pass. And so basically shutting down the run and forcing them to beat us, whether it be in coverage or one-on-one. And so I think they've done a really good job about that. Especially for young guys being able to hit like the way they do, that's something that is really hard to teach and something that comes over time. And so their coaches before and just their willingness to be part of football and understand what it's all about. I mean, everything in life teaches us not to be that way, not to be physical or aggressive. And so to do that and to do it at the level that they're doing it at, I've been very pleased with that. On the offensive side, we have a really great passing. I would say the receivers and running back buy into that really well, but our quarterback play has been very impressive. I think, like I said before, we have one of the best quarterbacks we've had in this team in the time that I've been here. And so obviously, you know, if you're familiar with Chaparral and the Firebirds, there's been great quarterbacks that have come through here. Jack Miller, who's at Ohio State, and there's a lot of great quarterbacks and football players in Arizona. But I think with this passing attack, I think we have potential to do a lot of things, especially at the younger levels. You know, teams are used to seeing a lot of running. And so being able to switch it up and being able to pass is a huge asset. Obviously, we hope that our running game will come along with that, but we have a young and experienced offensive line and just kind of things that we have to build off of that. And the Firebird program is known for being more of a passing team. And so I think it fits with the scheme that we're doing. But overall, I think that, like I said, the defense with the hitting and swarming to the ball has been very impressive. And then on the offensive side, I think our passing game has been really encouraging so far.
All right, and obviously teams are scouting you. They're watching film, they're seeing what you do, and the great teams are doing their homework. So what would you say is one thing, one glaring thing that you want to continue to press the kids on improving more than anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of things as a coach, you see all of that. I mean, like I said, our offensive line, they have to continue to learn and grow and progress. And we've had some injuries, but fortunately some other guys have stepped up and grown with that. I would say that would be an area where we're working really hard, and Coach West has done a great job, a lot of development with those guys. And then overall, just as a team, making sure that we're good blocking, because not just the offensive line, but the receivers, the running backs, everyone at some point is going to have to block. And so that's something that we put a huge emphasis on, and something that is new to a lot of these guys. And so that's something I would say where we definitely, you know, are working to improve. Also, we like to go fast. We try to go with tempo, and part of that is having guys being in good shape. And so, you know, Arizona, it's heating up already. It's almost reached 100 last game. And that just, you know, it requires us to be in really good shape. And so conditioning is huge right now for our guys to be able to play the way that we need to play to be successful. They have to be in better shape.
Wow. Yeah. So, Coach, biggest surprise so far this spring with your season or with your team?
Biggest surprise? It's a great question. I would say the biggest surprise goes back to how many of these players came in willing and ready to hit. That is something that every football coach dreams of. And I think once we're completely healthy, and especially going into the fall, it's very encouraging to see how willing these guys are to hit, whether it's on offense or defense. And so very proud of them for that. And honestly, we've had a couple years where we haven't had that, and it's a huge luxury to have and something you don't take for granted as a coach. And so I've been definitely surprised. These guys who coached them up in the youth program did a great job overall teaching them how to hit. And we've had kids come from other parts, and they've come with that attitude. And so and if they haven't, they're buying into it. So that's definitely been the biggest surprise to me.
Last question, Coach. Tell us a little bit more. And I know you do a lot out there. You're stretched pretty thin, but at the same time, you've got a strong support staff of coaches. Who are these guys, and what sets your staff apart from other organizations out there?
Definitely. Yeah. I love our staff. We have guys who do so much. And so I talked about a few of them. On the defensive side of the ball, Coach Ryan Dieter, he's our defensive coordinator, and him and I have coached together for several years now. And he's been kind of my right-hand man with a lot of things, because I used to coach the defense and he was my coach on that side too. And so we're very familiar with what we're doing there. And when I became the head coach last season, I took over the offense and allowed him to take over the defense. And he's done a great job, not only building off what we did, but doing things that just are really smart. And his attention to detail has been really helpful, because I don't even have to worry about that side of the ball as much, because he oversees it and understands it and does a great job. With him, there's Coach Q, or Quan Wooden. He has been a huge blessing for us, because he actually has NFL and college experience, and he's actually an NFL free agent. So in between him playing, he's been coaching with us, and he coaches our DBs, or defensive backs, and his experience, as you can imagine, is next to none. And so he's taught us so much. And I love Coach Q, because he is all about his position group. He would do all practice and just do indie time, where he's just with his guys, and I've never met a coach like that. Most coaches like to get into team, and then that's the part of the game that's fun. But he almost prefers to do that. And then he has such a good rapport with his guys, and it obviously just does a great job. And some of the stuff they've implemented already in the spring is great. I've just been really impressed with Q and Ryan's attention to the coverages and what we need to do on all aspects of the defense. And Coach West has kind of gotten thrown in on both sides of the ball, coaching the line. And him and I have coached together for several years as well, off and on. He moved out of town for a couple seasons, but he's back. And he's taken on a huge role, because not only does he have a lot of development, most of our newest players are on the line, and we're having to kind of manufacture guys into being linemen, and which is something I'm really proud of our team about doing, is being all in. That's one of our phrases, or our team mottos, is being all in. And they've bought in. We've had to move some guys at different positions. Maybe they wouldn't necessarily prefer to play, but they've done that. And Coach West has helped on both sides of the ball with that. And so and I feel for him, because he has to teach so much and so much development, but he's done a really good job with that. And he also is able to help both sides and see different things, and his attention to detail and watching film is such a huge asset for us. There's a couple guys that normally coach with us that aren't able to do it due to family and work circumstances, but they'll be back with us in the fall. But we have Doug Price, who stepped up and coached our receivers and helped me on the offensive side. And he's been awesome, because Doug is more of a quiet guy, but he's really stepped into this role of not only last season, but this season is just developing and being one-on-one with guys. But his impact with players and having that personal relationship is huge. And he also sees things that I don't see and the other coaches don't see, whether it be from a character standpoint for a player or what they need, or from a scheme standpoint. And so he's a huge asset as well. And all these guys are so committed to coming and being a part of this process. And you really have to love coaching and love these players and love football to give the time that we give. And so I really appreciate that. And then obviously John Springfield has headed up the administrative side and helped with special teams and development. And he's huge, because he takes a huge load off of my shoulders, which normally in the regular fall season, I have to deal with so much, with all planning out the whole season, dealing with scheduling, and all the administrative side that goes to it. And he helps with all that and really takes all of it off my shoulders so that I can focus on just coaching and developing these players. So John's been huge, and he's a huge asset to the program in general. He helps with all different levels. And so I'm very blessed with these guys because I feel like I could take myself out of the situation and the team would continue to just grow and progress at the way it's going because these guys are so committed. So I'm very grateful for them, and they've done a great job so far this season.
Awesome. Well, there you have it, folks. Next week, Scottsdale Firebirds, Scottsdale Argonauts. Firebirds head football coach Brad Page once again joining us here on NYFCAtv. Coach, thanks again. We'll see you soon, and good luck.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot for having us on and giving our program some love. We appreciate it, and go Firebirds.
All right, we'll be back after the break.
All right, guys, welcome back. Great interviews. Let's wrap up the show. The first thing I'd like to do, Jason, is as we do every week, let's talk about how people can get involved with NYFCA.
You can visit us on our website, NYFCA.com, or you can see us on social media. Again, we work with our organizations here in town, so our recommendation is to find one of the local youth programs that are around you. There's a ton of youth organizations that will have teams from 6U up to 8th grade. You'll sign up with them, and then they'll choose to play. They'll choose to play in our league. But let's keep spreading the word, and we're trying to do something a little bit different and really lead with the community, put the kids and the athletes, the coaches, the volunteers, create a stage that recognizes their hard work, make the experience, for them just next level and special. And we will be opening up fall registration. We'll have a nice launch preview next week. But really excited that we're off and running here. Thank you for making NYFCA great this season.
I love the fact that this show is so interactive. We get highlight videos from families. We feature people in the community, members of the community, on our program, on your program, and it's an educational tool. You learn something maybe this week that you didn't know about last week. Maybe you learn a little bit about a technique in a lift from Adam Snyder, or maybe you learn about what kind of shoes not to buy from that Jason Hirsch owns. But whatever it is, it's an educational tool. So thank you again for joining us here on NYFCA TV. You have the contact information. Come back, watch us, tell your friends, and we look forward to seeing you and your young people get involved with the organization.
Thank you, Vince. Appreciate it.
All right. We'll see you next week.